Picture this: a federal courtroom heavy with silence as Jamie Foxx, one of Hollywood's brightest stars, collapses into sobs, his voice shattering under the weight of a secret too dark to bear. In the trial of Sean Diddy Combs, a music mogul once untouchable, Jamie's testimony didn't just steal headlines. It tore the veil off Hollywood's glittering facade. What did he see in Diddy's mansion that broke him? What hidden tapes could unravel an empire of fame and power? This isn't just a trial. It's a reckoning that's got Tinseltown trembling. From secret recordings to chilling threats, we're diving into the jaw-dropping truth behind Jamie Foxx's words. Hit that like button, subscribe, and brace yourself for a story that'll leave you speechless. The federal courtroom was a crucible of tension. Every breath held as Jamie Foxx, the man who charmed the world with his Oscar-worthy grin, stepped onto the witness stand. But this wasn't the Jamie Foxx of red carpets and blockbuster hits. This was a man stripped raw, his hands shaking like a storm-tossed ship, his voice fracturing under the weight of a truth too heavy to carry. Leaked court notes, smuggled out like forbidden relics, describe a scene that could chill the blood of even the most jaded juror. Jamie sobbing, his cries echoing to the silent chamber, a superstar reduced to a haunted shell. He wasn't performing. This was no scripted drama. His tears were real, born from a night at Sean Diddy Combs' mansion that scarred his soul. According to eyewitnesses, spectators sat frozen, their hearts pounding, as Jamie recounted a horror that shattered his unshakable charisma. What could break a legend like this? Imagine the weight of a secret so dark it could silence a star. Jamie carried for years, locked in a prison of fear. The courtroom hung on his every word, each sob a hammer striking Hollywood's polished facade. What did he see that night? What truth was so monstrous it brought him to his knees? Stay with us, because the answers will shake you to your core, exposing a side of fame you were never meant to see. Step into Sean Diddy Combs' mansion, a glittering fortress where music pulsed, champagne flowed, and power hung heavy in the air, a palace that promised paradise but concealed a nightmare. Jamie Foxx's testimony, raw and unfiltered, unveiled a night that began with the allure of Hollywood's elite but spiraled into a descent so sinister it could haunt your dreams. He described being lured deep into the estate, past velvet ropes and flashing lights, to a soundproof theater room where the air turned cold as a grave. Strangers, not the usual A-listers or moguls, filled the space, their eyes darting with unease, as if they sensed the trap closing. Then, the lights dimmed and the video flickered to life. Something so grotesque, Jamie's stomach churned, his mind teetering on the edge of sanity. Was it real? A twisted performance? He couldn't tell, but the locked doors and the chilling command to watch screamed one truth. This was no party. This was an initiation, a ritual designed to bind or break. Jamie's voice dropped to a whisper in court, recounting faces he didn't recognize, people who looked uncomfortable, and Diddy's aides orchestrating it all with cold precision. The Diddy Mansion secrets were no myth. They were a living horror show. What was on that screen that left a star like Jamie trembling? And who else was drawn into this dark spectacle? Keep watching, because the truth behind these walls is more twisted than you can fathom. Picture a mansion where every shadow conceals a watchful eye, every whisper is stolen, and every moment becomes a weapon in a game of power. In the heart of Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial, Jamie Foxx unveiled a Hollywood surveillance scandal so diabolical it could make your skin crawl. A hidden archive of recordings locked in an encrypted vault deep within Diddy's sprawling estate. This wasn't just a party pad. It was a fortress of secrets, rigged with Diddy hidden cameras that turned trust into a trap. Jamie's testimony, heavy with dread, revealed a chilling truth. Cameras lurked in bedrooms, bathrooms, hallways. Every corner of the mansion a snare for the unsuspecting. He spoke of a high-tech nerve center, confirmed by whispers from a vanished house manager and 2 security guards now erased from existence, a room bristling with monitors, secure drives, and locked cabinets accessible only to Diddy's inner sanctum. These weren't party tapes or nostalgia. They were a sinister catalog of stolen lives, capturing stars, politicians, and moguls in moments they never knew were betrayed. They kept everything, Jamie whispered in court, his voice a tremor of betrayal, recounting how guests danced and laughed, oblivious to the lenses that owned them. This was no mere scandal. It was a system designed to cage souls, a digital dungeon where privacy was a cruel illusion. Imagine living with the fear that your every move was recorded, your vulnerabilities weaponized. How many stars fell into this trap? How deep does this web of surveillance stretch? Jamie Foxx's testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial exposed a Diddy blackmail scandal that wasn't just about surveillance. It was about control, a sinister machine that turned stolen moments into chains. Jamie revealed that the tapes, secretly recorded in Diddy's mansion, weren't mere trophies. They were insurance policies, weapons to silence the most powerful names in the industry. Stars, athletes, executives, even politicians, caught in moments of intoxication, compromise, or unspeakable acts, were unaware their lives were being weaponized. Jamie's voice shook as he described a system where loyalty was coerced, lawsuits buried, and dissent crushed under the threat of exposure. Some of those defending Diddy today, he said, his words slicing through the courtroom, aren't loyal, they're terrified, haunted by tapes that could end them. This wasn't a party game. It was a calculated empire of fear, where a single frame could obliterate a career or destroy a legacy. Jamie recounted stories of stars who confided in him, their voices trembling as they spoke of footage they prayed would never surface. Moments of vulnerability turned into shackles. The Diddy blackmail scandal, he claimed, held Hollywood hostage, forcing silence or compliance. Imagine living with the dread that one wrong move could unleash your darkest secret to the world. Keep watching, because the next revelation will leave you questioning everyone in Tinseltown. The nightmare didn't end when Jamie Foxx left Diddy's mansion. It followed him like a shadow, creeping into the safety of his own world. In the Sean Diddy Combs trial, Jamie's testimony unveiled a moment so sinister it could freeze your heart. A package delivered to the production office with no return address, only his name scrawled in stark black ink, like a warning carved in stone. Inside was a flash drive, its content a dagger to the soul. Grainy footage of Jamie in that cursed theater room, his face etched with horror, captured by Diddy's hidden cameras he never knew were watching. The final frame? A black screen with two words that burned into his mind. Just remember, it was no mere message. It was a guillotine, a chilling promise that his silence was owned. Jamie told the court he stared at that screen for hours, sleepless, his world unraveling as the weight of Diddy's threats sank Darren. Every headline about a fallen star, every career that vanished without explanation. He couldn't help but wonder, were they silenced by the same unseen hand? The Jamie Foxx testimony painted a picture of a man haunted, not just by what he saw, but by the knowledge that Diddy's reach could touch him anywhere, anytime. This wasn't just intimidation. It was a declaration of power, a reminder that secrets could bury even a legend. Imagine living with that dread, knowing one wrong word could unleash a storm of ruin. Who sent that flash drive? And what other warnings were delivered in the dark? Stay with us, because the next chapter reveals how Hollywood punishes those who dare to defy. In the dazzling realm of Hollywood, where stars shine brighter than the sun, Jamie Foxx learned a chilling lesson. Cross the wrong power, and you'll be cast into a shadow so deep it could swallow your legacy whole. His testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial laid bare a Diddy scandal that didn't just threaten careers. It obliterated them with silent, merciless vengeance. When Jamie refused to sign Diddy's suffocating NDA, a seven-figure bribe disguised as a golden handshake, the industry turned on him like a pack of wolves smelling blood. Overnight, brand endorsements evaporated, as if his name had become a curse whispered in boardrooms. Film projects, once buzzing with promise, crumbled into a void of unexplained delays, their funding vanishing like smoke. Studios that once courted his star power slammed their doors, their silence louder than any rejection. Jamie called it a freeze-out, a Hollywood blacklist so insidious it left no fingerprints, yet crushed dreams with surgical precision. He saw others, stars who dared to question, who refused to bend, fade into obscurity. Their careers not just ended but erased, as if they'd never existed. I became radioactive, Jamie told the court, his voice thick with the pain of betrayal. Not for doing wrong, but for daring to say no. This wasn't mere punishment. It was a warning etched in the ruins of fallen legends, a testament to a system that buries a defiant without a trace. Imagine building a career only to watch it dismantled by invisible hands. Your name struck from Hollywood's script. How many others suffered this silent exile? And what horrors awaited those who tried to fight back? Keep watching, because the next chapter unveils a darkness that makes parties look like nightmares. Beyond the velvet ropes and champagne flutes of Diddy's mansion lay a darkness, so perverse it could stain the soul of Hollywood itself. Jamie Foxx's testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial unveiled a scene that wasn't a party, but descended into a nightmare, a ritualistic gathering that turned the mansion into a stage for horrors unimaginable. Jamie described stumbling upon a procession of robed figures, some blindfolded, moving through dimly lit halls toward the soundproof theater room, where Diddy stood like a puppet master, his smile a mask for something sinister. Handlers, cold and calculated, ensured cameras rolled, capturing every moment as guests were handed drinks laced with who knows what. Jamie's voice cracked in court as he recalled muffled screams, a man's cry, raw and desperate, and a woman calmly noting something in a pad, as if cataloging the chaos for a darker purpose. This wasn't revelry. It was a Diddy ritual allegation that reeked of control, a twisted spectacle where guests became pawns in a game they didn't understand. Through a cracked door, Jamie caught a handler's gaze, her smile chilling him to the bone, a silent warning that he'd seen too much. This wasn't a home, he told the jury. It was a theater where people were props. The Hollywood dark secrets Jamie exposed painted a mansion wired for fear, where every act was orchestrated, every vulnerability recorded. Imagine witnessing a ritual so eerie it haunts your every step. What was Diddy orchestrating in that shadowed room? And who else was drawn into this macabre dance? Stay with us, because the next chapter reveals a face is trapped alongside Jamie in this web of terror. The spotlight of fame hides a darkness where even the brightest stars could be ensnared, and Jamie Foxx's testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial tore that veil apart, revealing a Diddy elite scandal that could topple Hollywood's highest towers. Jamie dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the courtroom. He wasn't alone in Diddy's mansion of horrors. 3 other titans of Tinseltown, a Grammy-winning rapper, a beloved late-night host, and an actress revered for activism, stood in the same shadow rooms, their names redacted, but their presence a haunting echo in the transcript. These weren't mere partygoers. They were prisoners of the same nightmare, their public smiles masking private torment. Jamie's voice trembled as he recounted their whispered confessions, shared in moments of raw fear, each star broken by what they'd witnessed in Diddy's twisted theater. "We wear sunglasses and suits," he told the jury, but behind them we're shattered. The Hollywood secrets exposed painted a chilling picture, an elite circle bound by dread, their fame a fragile shield against the weight of Diddy's secrets. The courtroom gasped as Jamie hinted at their identities, leaving the world to speculate. Who were these icons, and why did they stay silent? Were they trapped by the same tapes, the same threats that haunted Jamie? This wasn't just a scandal. It was a conspiracy of silence, where the elite were pawns in a game they couldn't escape. Imagine being a legend, yet living in fear of a truth that could erase you. Who are these shadowed stars? And what kept them from speaking out? Keep watching, because the next chapter unveils a power so vast it reaches beyond Hollywood's gates. The empire of Sean Diddy Combs wasn't built on music alone. It was forged in a crucible of power so vast it could cast shadows over the highest echelons of society. Jamie Foxx's testimony in the Diddy power scandal trial unveiled a chilling truth. Diddy's influence stretched far beyond Hollywood, protected by untouchable titans who shielded him from justice. Jamie recounted a clandestine visit from an FBI agent, a figure cloaked in secrecy, who warned him that Diddy was no ordinary mogul. "He's protected," the agent whispered, hinting at sealed documents tying a former U.S. president to one of Diddy's exclusive fundraisers, where hidden cameras allegedly rolled. Over 30 complaints of misconduct, trafficking, and extortion, Jamie claimed, had been buried, suffocated by a web of top-level connections, politicians, tycoons, and power brokers who ensured no grand jury could touch him. Jamie's voice trembled in court not just from fear, but from the weight of realizing he wasn't just fighting a man. He was up against a machine that crushed dissent with ruthless precision. This wasn't a music empire. It was a fortress of leverage, where secrets were currency and silence was law. Imagine a world where one man's reach could silence a nation's justice system, where even presidents might bow to his tapes. The Diddy power scandal, Jamie revealed, was a conspiracy that made Hollywood's darkest secrets look like child's play. Who else stood in Diddy's untouchable shadow? And how deep did this machine's roots grow? Stay with us, because Jamie's final words will leave you questioning the very heart of power. As the courtroom hung in a hush, Jamie Foxx's testimony reached its shattering crescendo, a plea so raw it could pierce the heart of Hollywood itself. In the Sean Diddy Combs trial, he didn't just speak. He bared his soul, tears streaming as he begged not for revenge, but for a truth long buried under Tinseltown's glittering lies. "This isn't about music," Jamie declared, his voice cracking like glass under pressure. "It's about stopping a monster that's held us hostage for too long." He described a Hollywood built on secrets, where Diddy collected silence like a vulture hoarding bones, his empire thriving on fear and control. Jamie Foxx plea was a cry for justice, born from years of carrying a burden that threatened his life, his family, his legacy. He spoke of Cassie's testimony, of staff leaks, of a federal investigation that gave him the courage to break free. "If I stayed silent," he told the jury, "I'd be complicit, and I couldn't live with that." His final words were a thunderbolt. "If something happens to me, know I told the truth." Jurors wiped tears, the silence in the courtroom a reckoning for an industry exposed. This wasn't just a trial. It was a war against a system that caged stars in fear. Imagine risking everything to speak a truth that could end you. Will Jamie's plea break Diddy's spell? Drop your thoughts below and keep watching, because the fallout from this moment could change Hollywood forever.